In this video, I'm going to show you how your worth and your wealth go hand in hand. I'm going to give you 3 powerful habits that you can implement in your life right now that are going to help you foster this connection to your worthiness and will actually begin to attract more levels of wealth into your life as well. I'm Lisa. I'm one of the co-founders of Rise Leadership Circle, where our mission is to support you to reach greater levels of connection to your personal power, your value, and your worth so that you can become well-paid and prosper. So I believe that one of the biggest blocks to abundance and wealth in our life is feeling disconnected from our own sense of worthiness. So often when we chase a goal or there's something that we want to create in our life, we create it from a place of believing that once I get there, then I will finally feel worthy. Once my business hits 7 figures, once I have the clients, or it could be the house or the car or whatever it is, we could create from the sense that when we get there, we'll finally feel like we belong. And the truth is, it's actually the other way around. When we are connected to our innate sense of worthiness, because it is innate within each one of us, we were all born that way, and nothing has changed that since the day of our birth. When we truly are coming from this connection, we realize that wealth follows worth. The more connected we are, the more we are willing to dream, the more we are willing to actually show up and go after the things that we want to create in our life. So it's not when I get there, then I will feel worthy. It's actually when I feel worthy, then I will get there. This is actually part of your business plan, is to continue to cultivate this. So one of the things I like to say is that being an entrepreneur is a healing journey, because every limiting belief that you have is going to be brought up for you to look at on the path. It does really require us to step outside of our comfort zone. It requires us sometimes to be in the spotlight. And so it really does feel to me oftentimes like it is this fast track to healing. I have a sense that if you're listening to me, you probably are someone who has a calling on your heart. You feel like now is the time for you to really up-level your mission, for you to get it out into the world in greater levels. And it's more important than ever that we deepen into this work. So let's get into what these 3 habits are. So habit number 1 is dream a bigger dream. What I really mean by this is so often we limit our vision when we don't feel like we're worthy of having the life that we want to have, or when we don't feel like it's possible, or we don't feel like we're capable of having it. We limit the vision. We base it on what we've done in the past. We base it on what others might want for us, instead of actually really going within and tapping into our own heart and allowing ourselves to dream the vision that's been on our heart. And I know you guys have huge, huge visions. And so my invitation for you is to double it. Ask for your vision to be expanded. This is a prayer that I say all the time: expand my vision, show me what's possible. Because I know that my ego mind can greatly limit the vision. So think about what it is that you want to create, maybe this year, in the next 5 years, in your lifetime, whatever it is. I want you to pull one of those big dreams that you have to mind, and I invite you to double it. Go ahead and do that right now. Just double it. Whether it's a revenue goal, you can double that. Maybe it's simply a way that you want to feel. You want to experience more joy in your life. What would it be like to double that? Maybe you want to experience deeper relationships. What would it feel like to double that experience, 10x that experience? So go ahead and think about that. And now double that vision one more time. Go even bigger. Keep stretching, keep expanding. What would it be like? Notice if you feel like you are limiting yourself, limiting your thoughts, limiting, what would be possible for you. And instead of stopping there, trust that whatever's coming up is coming up so that you can transform it, so that you can move through it, you can release it to stepping into higher versions of yourself. So make it a regular practice to dream a bigger dream. In my world, I invite my clients to connect to their vision every single day, preferably in the morning, even if it's just for a few minutes. Watch yourself moving through that vision, even if, or pretend it's like watching yourself in a movie, where you see yourself moving through the day. Notice who you're with, notice what it feels like to move through that vision. Because the more that we spend time with it, the more that we spend time connected to it, the more that we attract the people, the circumstances, the situations into our life that will actually help us to get there. Number 2 is to honor your internal guidance system above all else. Begin to listen to your intuition, your internal voice, what I often call the soul voice, or sometimes I call it your internal guidance system. This is the wisest part of you. It's the part of you that knows the way forward. It knows what's right for you. It knows what's best for you in this lifetime. And so often this voice gets drowned out with our fears, gets drowned out with logic and with the ego mind and the way it wants to create. And so it's really, really important that we begin to go within, to source answers from within before we seek external guidance. I feel like we've been programmed for so long to seek for answers from experts, from someone outside of us who knows more. The truth is, no one knows what's right for you except for you. You have this internal system when you tap into your heart that transcends logic. So in my world, in the work with my clients, we start to develop a really strong practice of learning how to trust this internal voice. So this internal voice often speaks to us in whispers. It's not always the loudest voice in the room, so to speak. And so we have to get used to tuning in and noticing how your own internal guidance system works. If you want some help with this, I created a PDF for you that you can download, and it's making decisions using my method of tapping into your logical mind, tapping into your heart, and then tapping into your gut. So you access wisdom from all 3 places and use it to make decisions in your life. So if you want to download this, you can go ahead and grab the link. It's linked here, and you can begin to take action with this. This is helpful if you're new, if you feel like you're someone who's like, I'm not intuitive, I don't really know how to access my intuition. This is a great place to start because it really puts it into simple steps that anyone can use. And even if you consider yourself intuitive and you've been at this for a while, it still is a powerful system to make decisions from. So that is my gift to you. Feel free to grab that. So it's really important that we continue to develop a sense of trust with our internal guidance system. It's the way that I lead myself in my business every single day. I am constantly tuning in and asking my intuition for direction. And the more that we do that, the more that we trust it. The louder that voice seems to get and the easier it is to access. It's amazing how much learning to access this inner guide will feel like it collapses timelines in your life. And what I mean by that is, we get really stuck spinning in circles when we're listening to fear, when we're listening to the voice of the ego, which wants us to play it safe, right? It's really rooted in keeping us safe. And so it wants us to avoid taking risks. It's the voice in your head that might advise you to stay stuck in a job that you're really hating because it's the quote unquote safe route. And when we do that, it lengthens the amount of time to get where we're meant to go. But the truth is, your heart is always guiding you. That internal guidance system is always guiding you. Quite often, it's guiding you by what lights you up, by what brings you joy. But we've been programmed not to follow it. When you start following it, when you start listening from within, it feels like you're collapsing timelines in your life because you'll get where you're meant to go so much faster. It doesn't always make sense, right? It's not always the logical step-by-step on paper. However, it's the wisest path. And you can begin to use your logical mind to back up the place where your heart, where this internal guidance system is leading you. Okay, let's move on to number 3. Habit number 3 is fill your own cup first. I know that growing up for me, I watched my mom be in service of everyone and everything around her. She gave so much to everyone in my family. She worked full time. She managed a bank. She was really committed to her role there. And she would just pour into everyone. And then if there was some time left over, she would have that for herself. And I know that that was generational teaching. That's how we have been often taught to move through generation to generation. And I did the same thing when I built my first business. I built it from this place of, taking massive action and really taking care of everyone and everything except for me. By the time I sold my business about 7 years in, I was completely exhausted, burnt out, and I burnt my team out in the process as well, from this sense of feeling like I needed to control and push and create my own timeline instead of really being able to, let my inner guidance lead and guide me to where I was meant to go. But the truth is, we attract more wealth into our life when we are coming from a place of being fulfilled, of filling our own cup. When we have this mind, body, spirit connection. When we don't feel worthy of the success, that's when we will put everyone's needs ahead of our own. I'm not saying we shouldn't take care of the people that we love, but we're not meant to do it from a place of depletion. We have to take care of ourselves first. When we can be in a space of being well rested, well nourished, we're coming from worthiness. We know that it is our birthright to also take care of ourselves. So let this be a reminder that this is actually a wealth building tool. Make self-care a part of your business plan and allow yourself to be filled up from the inside out. This is the place for me when I'm taking care of myself that I feel like I'm co-creating the most with the universe. I'm receiving those intuitive downloads. I'm creating from a space of joy, and I'm not creating from a space of depletion. Okay, so I'm going to recap the 3 habits. Habit number 1 is dream a bigger dream. Habit number 2 is honor your internal guidance. Make sure you grab the PDF that I've linked below. And habit number 3 is fill your own cup first. Incorporating these 3 habits into your daily practice is going to help you create from a place of authenticity. It's going to help you stay connected to your internal worthiness, and it is going to help you attract greater levels of wealth into your life. This is just some of the work that we do inside of our Elevate Mastermind. If you are curious about going further with this work or further with working with Kayla and I inside of Rise Leadership Circle, I do want to let you know that we currently have a few openings inside of our Elevate Mastermind group. And this is a group of entrepreneurs who are from all different types of businesses. So we have real estate agents and financial planners and massage therapists, photographers, coaches. There really is such beauty when we come together with such a diverse group of people who really want to do business from this very authentic place, who have huge missions in the world, who know that they're meant to get their voice into the world. And this is great if you're someone who already has an established business and you're really looking to step into greater levels of expansion. So you can message us. A great place to reach us is send us a DM on Instagram or in all the ways that you can find us. Let us know if you want more information. I'm happy to tell you more, as well as some of the other ways that you can work with us right now. I truly hope that you enjoyed this episode and that you will incorporate these habits into your life to help you attract more wealth. If you did enjoy it, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe so that you never miss an episode. We'll be back each week with new content to help you become well paid and live a prosperous life. You can connect with us on socials at Rise Leadership Circle. I am Lisa Limita. Thank you so much for being here. I'll see you next week.